I don't have like a catchphrase that I say at the start of every video, so I'm gonna try one out today. Like, I don't know, just...
You have to subscribe to this channel right now.
Back in May, I released a song called Crystallize, and today I'm just gonna go ahead and run through the song and sort of just break it down. The reason I'm doing this is just kind of to give you guys some informative content. It is not because it is currently Sunday night and I spent the whole weekend not thinking of ideas for content. Now, I know the first thing you're probably asking is this song a UKF exclusive? And the answer to that is yes.
This is a UKF exclusive.
Hey, wheel it, selector! Alright, so let's get to work. There's three sections that I'm going to focus on here. The three drops, if you will. This is the song if you haven't heard it yet. The first drop is pretty simple. I just layered some chords and then this little pluck sound into a whole melodic section. Fun fact about this song is that I actually made the second and third drops first, and then I was done. The song was done. I sent it to the label, and then they said that they wanted one more section that was a little bit more melodic, I guess more emotional. So I ended up literally making this section of the song the night before I was actually supposed to send the song out, and that's how it happened. Here's what it is. It's just some chords layered over each other, and then this little pluck sound. Right here is this chord. And that is just a serum chord right here. That is layered over this. This is just a flex preset. It's a little flex violin right here. Then that is layered over this. That sounds just kind of, it's just sort of a little, it's called retrobit. It sounds kind of cool. That is layered over this. That's the main pluck sample, the little pluck thing that sort of drives the whole first drop, which is actually just a perk sample from a cymatics pack. Everything is being controlled by a low pass filter, which I have automated right here, and then that gives us this sound. Pretty cool, right? You notice how that second one isn't so harsh? We just zoom in a little bit. You can see it doesn't cut it immediately back up. It sort of swings back up to give the sound. It gives the instead of the so like instead of the you get the it's a cool little flair to have. So that's all that sounds like this. And then we have a reverb right here. So that sucks us in to our section here where it's just a super dry pluck melody, which sounds like this. So when we play them all together, we get this. That big reverberated section from the pluck is done through the same automation, just automating the reverb. It goes into a nice clacky snare, and then I have this section of the vocal cutout. So it's like this whole section. And then it goes into the exact same thing. It's just progressing the melody. So the chords are all different. This one goes into that chord. This goes into this. This one goes up here. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, I have a little brass horn layered over everything as well. So the brass horn follows the progression of the chords as well. So it starts right here. Then it goes right here. Then it goes right here. And then back down to here. So that all together sounds like this. And then you can see here, this automation right here is just the overall level of a delay that I have on here. So it starts at nothing and then it gradually goes up. So that's why you can sort of hear it start to delay as it progresses on. And then also on the last three notes here, I have just another pattern, the exact same notes, exact same octave. They're just like slightly pushed back a little bit. So it gives this kind of chiptune sound almost. As far as the processing goes, there's really not too much. The chords literally are just, they're barely even touched. I just took like some low end out of them. The actual major pluck sound here, if I remember correctly, I just compressed the ever-living crap out of it. I did. 2 separate instances of OTT, and then like a small amount of distortion just on the bottom there. This first drop really it's not too complicated. I just wanted to briefly run through it just to you know, include it in the video. So I'm moving into the second drop. It sounds like this. Cool fun fact about this song is that the second and third drop, the synths used in them are made entirely out of the acapella. Like these sounds that you're hearing here, those are just all chopped up and made out of the acapella that Leah sent me. If I just highlight them, take off their effects, it just sounds like this. As you can tell just from listening to that, the completely dry version, it's just part of the acapella where she says, "Why do I keep trying?" I cut that up, made this little pattern, and then really the main things that are happening here are just this section right down here of the frequency shifter, along with the filter cutting right up here. So I turn those two parts on, and then with the acapella, this is what we get. This sort of just came about just from messing around with cutting up and trying different patterns, and then the main part of it came with trying out the different patterns here with the automation of the filter. So you can just kind of see here how I chopped it up, and I'll play it so you can kind of follow along through it. This is what the frequency shifter's doing down here. It's the same thing with this kind of cool sound that I put right before the drop. This is just the acapella. I'll turn off all the effects, same thing as before. You can just hear it's like incredibly pitched down. I think it's pitched down like 24 semitones. If I bring it back up 12, and then all the way back up. Okay, maybe, I don't know, not 24, but somewhere around that range. So you can, I don't know, somewhere around here, it's the natural note that it came with. But I pitched it all the way down. Did the effects processing along with the filter. It sounds like this. And that was kind of just like everything I do is just kind of an accident, but I like the way it sounded. This second section here is the same. It's the same pattern. Everything's just pitched up. So I think what I did. Yeah, what I did is I just resampled the previous section and then pitched it up and then threw it on the same chain, so it sounds like this. My favorite part right here is this big kadoosh. And that is, once again, just the acapella. Paired with this little bit of it, you can kind of hear it goes up, paired with just an atrocious amount of reverb. And then right on the snare drum. Just ended up making like a really cool hit, so I just love the way it ended up sounding. So I'm going to take us to the third drop now. This is the third drop, and you might notice that it's currently sitting in the middle of the song, and that is because in this version of the project file I had them switched, meaning this was the second drop and the one that I just went over was the third. But in the end, the actual final song ended up being this is the last drop, and the one I just went over is the second. In the interest of not being too confusing, that was probably pretty confusing. Same exact thing. It's just the acapella. If I just play it, I'll take off the effects and play it on its own. Literally just sounds like this. And then I'll put these back on along with the filters. The most important, the low passing is the most important thing. That cool little like triplet strum, I just took one of the automations right here and just made it into 3 instead of 1. So it's like this. And then it's got some delay going on top of it. And then when I pair that with this frequency shifter automation, it sounds like this. Kind of cool. Over our drums, we get this. So yeah, I don't know. That's the song. I think this is like the first song I made when quarantine started. I was just like, hey, might as well make some music. Leah sent me this vocal, and I was like, this is dope. And I went ahead and made this song, and here I am. 4 months later, poorly explaining how I made it on video for my YouTube channel. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope this was somewhat helpful. Probably not. So I hope everyone has a fantastic week, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thanks for watching. See ya.